Greetings and join us as broadcast. Brought to you by Complete Utter Insanity. This is multidimensional timeline shifts, architects of reality, and Anunnaki religion. So today is a little bit. Today's whatever the controllers of our reality is doing, they're doing it today. I mean, whatever. Of course, they do it on other days too, but today, usually I feel like there's a major energy shift that's right now. So, yeah, the future is unknown, but we'll try to tap into something. Obviously, more propaganda from governments as they slowly implode on themselves. But they're showing their evil, so at least we got that. Yeah, hooray. At least we see corruption at its finest. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's going to get, I don't know, it felt 2 weeks would be kind of not boring, but not like it was last week, but it's really hard to say right now. They're obviously don't want things to be known, but we'll see what we can tap into, best of our abilities, and yeah, whatever is happening, I'm feeling it. I've been talking to Conway private sessions. We have a shop here. I'm on the 16th. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind. Same situation here, webinar, social network, rabbit, behind the scenes, and yeah. So yeah, whatever it is today. I've had this before on Sundays where it's just heavy. I haven't had that in a long time. Not like this. So we are going into the rest of the year. So they're having their Illuminati gatherings today. Yeah, setting the agenda for the future. There's one other thing about the about our contracts we come with a contract here, and we can't always break away from it. Not really, not easily. Especially those that are, or any of us, but those in the third dimension, people believe that we're going to go to this new Earth and the third dimension will disappear, but I don't know. We have to see more evidence of that, or more of the third dimension healing, because they're holding on for dear life because they signed up for this. So for a physical experience, it's not just going to zap away out of nowhere. It's going to be healed slowly, but it's just not going to go away as some people might think. Like we're just going to go to this new Earth and physical reality is going to just zap and that's gone. It's like, doesn't feel that way. It doesn't mean that the aliens won't show or something won't happen. Who knows? It's really hard to say. Of course, when you have a place, there's some places where mountain areas where there's a lot of alien connections. But some of those places still have a lot to go for healing, for you can actually have a physical connection. You might have an astral connection. But to actually have a physical connection takes a lot of soul searching. So, I mean, the aliens aren't going to connect to people. I mean, some people they'll connect to, but there's a group of people and they're like sky watching. If someone's got issues or something, which is fine, but the alien beings can scan who can't handle this and who can. If they do show up out of nowhere, like, yeah, you can see their ships flying around in the sky all day long. But an actual visitation is a little bit different story there. So, so you wonder why always have interactions. I mean, it's really on a spiritual level, right? When it comes down to it, doesn't necessarily have to be on a physical level. But our contracts here are, yeah, we're just, of course, we want to have an awakening and all that, but we have to fulfill whatever we came here for, also. So it's not always that easy to break free of it. Let's put it that way. So there's something else, but they're not making it easy to connect. Whatever they're planning, it's like they're about to reveal it, whatever it is. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen tomorrow, but whatever they're playing, because I feel them blocking whatever, they're having like an Illuminati get together in Astral or something. But they're planning on some kind of setup on its way, so event of some kind. So we just have to see where it goes. So. All right, go into multi-dimensional timelines shifts, and that's pretty much has something to do with these guys. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Before I dive into all of this, Anunnaki and religion, I was looking at some of the televangelists, not to mention names, because I used to look at it every once in a while just to see what they're up to. You know, how many mansions they're going to buy, how many jets are going to fly in the sky, whatever. But I was also seeing just I haven't looked at it in quite a while, but I felt a lot of Anunnaki energies, which I'm not normally feeling from that. So obviously, religion is a different ways of looking at it. Of course, a lot of it is just to get us to do something. It is a distraction. It's also when you talk about the primitive times of life, when we don't know what to do with ourselves. They create religions. Here, follow us. Here, do this. We had the gods in ancient Greece. We had the gods in Babylon, and the early gods were Anunnaki, basically. So, I don't know if there's newer ones, older, but yeah, Anunnaki is very rooted into religious mindset. They just create. Other groups take religion and do their own thing with it, but it really feels like it really comes from the Anunnaki, at least from the vibe I'm getting right now. I can change that future, but they play a big role in its growth. Let's put it that way. Just to help us learn our physical, to help us become more physical in our lessons and whatever we're here to discover about ourselves. That we have some kind of anchor into this world. If not, we didn't have that, we'd probably be flying over the place in higher dimensions. Like, you want a physical experience, we're going to give you one. Something like that. So, something around those. Like, so many that are opening up to all the spirituality are still very holding on to that religious energy. You can feel it. Not everybody, but quite a few. And it's something that you just don't get rid of over time. You just don't if it's thousands of years ingrained into you, just don't get rid of it just like that. So you might not be focusing on religious energies, but some that are opening up spiritually to all these aliens and all that, some of them are taking like a religious type of point of view. So I don't know. Well, just I'm getting hit by all this stuff right now, so it's we'll just do the best we can here about that. I feel a little bit scattered, just a little bit, due to whatever is being unraveled. I haven't felt like this in a long time. So, all right, blessings. We're going to multi-dimensional timelines and begin our weirdness for the night. So, greetings to you. We are the consciousness of your planet. Not necessarily Mother Earth. We are the Earth Collective. You can say, yes, your elites are getting together astrally. Well, a lot of plans are being implemented at this time. Of course, there's always a plan, but there are major ones in the works of unraveling your Earth. Maybe not. It's not supposed to be predicted. You are supposed to live it. And live it you will. But many of you are feeling just a different vibration coming through. You might have new experiences, at least on an astral level. Or on a spiritual level, just feel like you're a little bit disjointed than usual. Some of you are part of the main timeline of where it goes, meaning that you have main timeline meetings in astral. I know this sounds a little bit strange. It doesn't mean you actually have a meeting, but you're involved with its path, its direction. Of course, you can say all humanity is involved, and that is true, but some of you have a little bit more insight to it. It's not always going to make itself quite known, of course not, because you're not here to reveal what's happening. So some that know everything quite a bit, and there's many of you out there that know where things are going, but in this reality, you know nothing. No, absolutely nothing. There might be a part of you that wants to see the future, or for some, they don't want to know it at all. It doesn't mean this is the future of this earth. I mean, the information can be accessed by anybody afterward, but it doesn't mean everybody cares or needs it, or many are just mostly focused on their own lives, where they're going to be, who they're going to be when they grow up, even if they're 30 years old. It's like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? There's a lot of that going on your planet. You're just basically putting the pieces together of your realities. Some of you that are connected to the alien timelines, of course, has been blocked by many beings here that are human. Some have agendas here, yes, some that are part of the spiritual community that are actually blocking alien disclosure. Without going too deep into that, well, they want the human experience. They don't want this whole alien knowledge, so they infiltrate it. They're actually allowed to. Infiltrate it, but also to slow it down. Or to make it, put it to a snail's pace, but it doesn't even happen at all. And most likely this will start to become more known to some of you over time. It's not something easy to see. Yes, there are deceivers here, yes. Well, that's part of your process as you open up your world. You're going to run into blockages. Well, some just want you to sit back, relax, enjoy the channel messages, and that's it. But some of you want to actually evolve and actually make a contact instead of just a hearsay connection to your alien beings. But actually feel it. It's like they're in the room with you. Even if they are multidimensional, even if they are in the fourth dimension, you know their energies are there. That will become more part of your future no matter what. For some of you, not all. Basically, it's kind of like connecting to a ghost, but instead of a ghost, it's an alien being. It's just not time for a lot of it yet. Now, some might say they've heard that before. Well, there's the timelines you signed up for. It takes time for these things to evolve, being more part of your society. You just have to let things flow. As many want to break free and go forward and make what you want to happen. But does that fit in the main timeline scheme of everything? Is that going to cause a disjoint energy where you're shifting everyone off course, which can happen? I mean, just because you want it to happen doesn't mean it's going to fit in everyone else's reality as much as you might want to think it would. It can derail many and cause a lot of heartache, and that's karma on you. Now, there are worlds where you can't do that. It's like, I want this to happen, it happens, and then you have a lot of miserable people, and now you have to pick up the pieces from that. That's kind of happening here to a certain extent, because you can have your own life kind of derailed a little bit, where hard for you to connect with friends and family because you're focusing on this one thing. So it can happen in that form also. For the multiverse, those timelines are not here to fully open just yet. Now, as an Earth consciousness, realize I am from you. This is the Earth Collective, or whatever name you wish to call this planet. Now, the past, many are wondering what the past looks like. Well, what matters now really is the current now. Your timeline can come from any multiverse reality, meaning that you could have been Jesus in another lifetime, as far as you know. I mean, if you want to truly go spiritual, of course, many have their boundaries with that. But if you truly want to go spiritual, you just let yourself go. What do you feel that you're connected to so you can heal? What kind of past is out there that you feel gravitating towards. But if you tell anybody, they see you as crazy. And the Jesus topic is pretty big. Well, many feel like they've been either an incarnation of Jesus, which many have been. There's been multiple Jesuses, multiple timelines, of course. Some of you, yes, have incarnated that position in that lifestyle to see how you would react to it, see what you would do. Doesn't mean you'll do exactly what was written in the Bible. Of course, the Bible has been fabricated so many times. Now, what's interesting from our point of view, from a Earth collective point of view, there's many of you that are here on a spiritual quest to understand yourself. And maybe you are, yes, very advanced, not to say you're not, but maybe you know there's much more going on. But some of you have also had your either a position in the Bible or you've actually wrote transcripts in the Bible and actually erased some knowledge out of it. It's like, we're not sure if that should be in here. Not to harm humanity, but to save it from itself, you can say. Like lost pages, lost knowledge. There's a lot of that. So some of you that are at an advanced state of mind, well, you just know there's more going on in this reality than you're just feeling the other realities. Even if you're not getting a clear understanding of it, you feel like you're somewhere else. But you'd be surprised how many of you actually have an impact here. That you don't remember. Well, what's the point of remembering? Like there's pages of the Bible that you removed. Literally. And yes, I could have advanced things a little bit quicker. But at the time, it was the right idea. Because religion is used as an architecture of your reality. It's almost like the Mayan calendar in some regard. Especially the apocalyptic side of it. Where that can be put in any... That's been done forever. That's been done to death. But everyone seems to want to be a part of that timeline. Always they feel like they're connected to it in some form or another. The reason we are bringing this out because some of you have been scribes in your past. It's just not remembered. I mean, if you're spiritually aware and you know there's much more going on and you're having these strange conversations beyond just your average conversation of spiritual growth, do you actually have a more significant connection to your past than you realize? Of course, you might not always be seeing. Yeah, you're asking the right questions. Some ask if they're famous, and that's some of that is part of. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a curiosity, but is there another question out there that has not been asked? Like, what part of history were you involved with? Where you were low key? Nobody knew you existed. I mean, how many monks are known in history? Probably none. Not many. Friar Tuck. And the monks are the ones that wrote the Bible to begin with. Always kept the text in place. Protected. Once again, really, because there's a Bible code out there, yes. Doesn't mean you have to go and break it out and read it or anything like that, but connect to the vibrations of some of you might be removed from that timeline, but you might be surprised at how connected you are to it. That's just completely blocked for obvious reasons. Where are the wounds of this reality? It comes down to religion. False positives, good positives will just leave you at that. Greetings to you. I am Mother Earth. Blessings to you. The architects of your reality. Well, you are, all of humanity is involved. You might not have the significance that you would like to. Maybe you've had power in your past where you made a lot of decisions to move the world forward or actually to slow it down. So, yes, it's just not remembered for obvious reasons. Of course, many of you that are in spiritual development obviously have some memory of an Egyptian connection there. Where some are actually trying to heal their own karma because of decisions that were made that might not have been the best decisions. Or there's a lot of harm that was done to humanity. Some of you are here to clear it up. It's like, what am I here to do? What am I here to focus on to clear it? Meaning that some of you have had, yes, I believe this is mentioned, yes, major influences on this reality. I mean, you are in this awakening state. So don't just think that you're just nobody in history. You might not want to be remembered in history, and there's a lot of that. It's like, we'll just let so and so be popular. Like, yes, like that Jesus person. When in truth, there's much more going on behind the scenes. So those of you that are advancing yourself rapidly, I realize this is obviously not a message for everyone. Not everybody is part of this, but there are certain individuals that help move history into where it is today. Not to cause harm to humanity, but just it was the right decision at the right time. And it's difficult, especially during World War II. There's a lot of poor decisions made then, but you have to live it out no matter what. But at the time, that was the right decision, even if it wasn't the best decision. We'll let you figure that one out. Well, there's just a lot of wounds to be healed, one day at a time, as your reality starts to fall apart. It will, but many of you will become more connected to yourselves. And this past will no longer, this present will no longer have, you'll feel like you're somewhere else, or you're more into yourself. And this reality no longer has the strength as it once did. Yes, a deep connection. It's time to go further into yourselves. Where, yes, they connect to spirituality, they connect to aliens, they connect to angels, and there's nothing wrong with any of those, but what is your place here truly? Where is your name written in the past? How many timelines you actually interfered with or involved with in its development? So you're out there, you'll find this message when the time is necessary. Yes, the truth is difficult, but the truth is necessary. Yes, as the reality falls into a new era, timeline, existence here. Yes, as the world becomes more chaotic, you'd be surprised how many of you spiritually become more heavily known into yourselves, stronger, more aware, sometimes even more frightened due to the climate of the planets. Like, as I connect to my power, the world falls apart. What does that mean exactly? That's something about myself. I'm not worried about the future, but it is a little bit terrifying. And it's going to be. But it does not have to be terrifying in the way that is terrifying. So. Greetings to you. We're the Anunnaki collective. Religion is kind of like a storybook for you, a timeline, a guideline for humans to follow, to figure out themselves, to create more troubles for themselves, basically, to create problems, to become their worst enemy, to hate themselves. Truly, it was really designed for that. Well, then you go within yourself in a vicious way, where death is created, but also life comes out of that. Where souls, yes, end themselves sooner, but more life is built upon that, and you find your way out of that death into life yourself. So many have fought throughout the timelines of this world, in and out, constantly. doesn't mean religion is going to be released from your world just yet. No, because that's where your personality comes from. Even if you want nothing to do with it, it's still there looking at you from some point of view. It created somebody's reality that's affecting you in some way. The table that you sit at, the bed that you lay in, etc. Religion is there somewhere, and doesn't mean you're here to heal it. Give it a different aspect of it because it's going to have a wake up call one day, a major one. Yes, that's going to be a different type of world. That's for sure. Well, as many of you activate more of your powers, go a multi-dimensional way, you're not expecting just of yet. Where yes, the world's going to be looking at some of you as the world turns on itself. Where religion is not working, God turned his head away. But your powers just slowly activate. Slowly activate. So with chaos is growth. So doesn't mean that you have to be part of the hurricane or the massive changes here, but you're involved with it in some form or another. Doesn't mean it has to affect you in a harsh climate way, but realize you're here to assist it in its finding its awakening. Those that are finally waking up to themselves. Religion can only do so much. So that's why people are coming finding New Ageism, but of course there's trappings there also. Well, it's just that New Age energy can also take you away from yourself too. Just as religion. So it's another religion, basically. And not everyone's catching that. You see the numbers already. Not everyone, they feel like they got it all figured out. And that is true. They do. For their world that they're in, yes. But there's a whole nother world out there called a universe that you can tap into that many are not ready to see it just yet. Meaning you are part of an age of reconnecting to your powers. Slowly, of course. Where, yes, more humans can become more spiritually bound to the Earth's vibrations, meaning a Gartha can open up and connect to you and your powers and abilities start to reactivate. It doesn't mean it's going to happen right now or tomorrow, but you are in the age of it. Some of you feel it. It's just not quite there just yet. Well, the world has to turn for you to get to that side of yourself. Religion has been designed to break away from the higher dimensions, to do the opposite. To, yes, what you call a human experience, to build out character. There's much more to it than that. To take you away from all your old, of course, there's different parts of the Bibles or whatever, Torahs, whatever you connect with. You choose the section that fits you. You've noticed that. I imagine those that don't really care about religion, but those like certain sections of the Bible, some are just connected to it because that's what you're learning from. That's what you wrote your timeline into. Either you were there or as part of your Earth lesson in the modern world. Not that any of that really matters, but it does and it doesn't. So yes, religion is going to have a wake-up call eventually, especially when their infrastructures that they created are no longer working anymore. Obviously, you have some time for that. But you already see things changing in that way, but more people are willing to discover themselves on a deeper level. Where it's finally to trust their own instincts, their own senses, even stronger than ever before. Where you become like godlike beings eventually. Eventually, there's been a lot of misuse of that God power already. It was turned off for a reason. Well, what's the fun of destroying yourselves instantly? Because that's pretty much what would be happening right now. I mean, there's already destruction already happening as it is. You're at full power. You're like half power, quarter of the power, quarter, somewhere at the quarter. And you see how difficult that is. You just can't make peace with just what little you have. Some are having trouble making peace with that because, of course, they have chaos they have to add to it. As chaos timelines become more known, yes, you're intuition to be able to see more into this reality a little bit more clearly, or where all this negativity is coming from. Right now, it's still a mystery, but it won't be a mystery forever. One by little things, meaning these alien beings that are causing mischief here, basically help you learn about yourself. Over time, yes, you'll see glimpses of them here and there. Of course, you'll see more of the positive too, but the negative ones, seeing how they're grounded into your reality, they're easier to see. The higher dimensional ones they only interfere when they absolutely have to. Obviously, higher dimensional alien beings obviously have been seen as gods in your past. So that's another reason why they don't make appearances once a week, as some people would like. Yeah, they don't want to be worshipped because trust me, many will be worshipped instantly. They'll find a way to worship those beings. It's like if an alien being just showed up in the sky, just hovering in the sky, say hello, I'm here to help you. Even those that are spiritually awakened, not everybody, but some will find a way to worship that being. It's like, wow, you talk about that being a lot, don't you? This is why they don't show up very often.